All right, folks, you are listening to Yishai and Friends on Israel National Radio. So, Bibi Netanyahu, our Prime Minister, reports have come in that he feels very threatened. He feels the danger that the State of Israel has facing it right now. For example, the Iranian threat, which is very, very real. I heard an audio by Edwin Black, the kind of novelist and undercover reporter, information gatherer. He said Iran is on the way to 19 nuclear facilities and bombs, and he really painted a very dark scenario. And I'm sure Netanyahu knows more than Edwin Black how grave the situation is. Furthermore, we have Hamas and Hezbollah, who are Iranian proxies. And not to mention the Fatah people, who, for example, just took part in a heinous murder. Terrorists came out of Shechem and killed a rabbi, a father of 7. This is the situation that supposedly Netanyahu feels is one in which he's under threat, the country's under threat from various angles, from various directions. And he has now started calling for some political shakeup. Political shakeup first was trying to win over 6 or 7 Kadima members. Kadima is the opposition party, which in a sense is a very close politically, it's not very different than what Likud stands for today, yet they're sitting in opposition. And he called over 6 or 7 of Kadima members to come leave Kadima and join the Likud, so really changing the coalition politics. That didn't seem to work so much, and then he made a different offer. That last offer would have wrecked Kadima, but the different offer is, no, Tzipi Livni, you come join, head of the Kadima party, you come join me. Let's make a wall-to-wall coalition. Let's make a broad-based coalition. And now Kadima, that was sitting in the opposition, would join, and Tzipi Livni would become a minister without portfolio, but would join the coalition, kind of the main diplomatic discussions. And looks like that's about to be rejected as well. The question is, though, is this something reasonable to even offer in a democracy? I mean, we voted for Likud to be a nationalistic party, and Kadima stood for an anti-nationalistic party. They call it, post-Zionist party. Now, Netanyahu, who has gone post-Zionist, wants to bring in this party, which was intentionally left in the opposition. Can, in a democracy, things be shaken up like this? Is this part of a reasonable discourse of our political life here, or is this some kind of end run around the will of the people? And these internal, political games are sophisticated, and we need somebody to help us understand better what is actually transpiring. And who better to help us understand what's going on than a real Likud insider, Moshe Feiglin, head of the Manhigut Yehudit faction, the Jewish leadership faction in the Likud. He joins us on what we like to call Manhigut Mondays on Israel National Radio with Yishai and Friends. Moshe Feiglin, welcome to the show.
Hello, Yishai.
So, what's going on here? Why is there such a strange game suddenly? I thought that Netanyahu had a pretty stable coalition. He had Barak and the Labor Party kind of as part of the team, and everything seemed to be going smoothly. But now things are, and you said to me a few weeks ago on this program, you said there's going to be a political shakeup at some point, and that's when things are going to start to change, and the political shakeup is starting to come. What is causing this earth-shaking kind of political change that's in the air?
I think what caused it is the fact that Israel, and not only Israel, by the way, is far away from being a democracy, and the will of the people is not what we see after the election. Everybody knows and feels that the people in Israel are more right-wing, more Jewish-oriented, and more nationalistic than, let's say, 5-10 years ago. Yet, even though the feelings and the opinions of the people going more and more towards the right, as we saw at the election, the Israeli agenda is going more and more towards the left. And the reason is that on the way to give away the land, you also have to give away the freedom of the people. You have to give away the principle of a real democracy, because you're going against the people's will. And if you remember what happened between myself and Netanyahu a year ago, the real battle was, it was before the election, it was in the primaries in the Likud. The real battle was, will the Likud will keep on representing a right ideology, a national ideology, as people are voting for, or it's going to be a tool by the hand of the new order, meaning the state of the power, the post-democratic state of the power which we're facing today. The concept of unity government, the whole concept of unity government is basically a concept which means let's make democracy irrelevant. Did you ever see a unity government in America, for example, between the Republicans and the Democrats? Even in the middle of the war, no one dreamed of any kind of unity between the two big parties. One party is winning, and that ideology will be the agenda of the state for the coming 4 years. That's what democracy is all about. Even in England, for example, you never had a unity government until you had a war. When you had a war, and the faith was under tremendous threat of total destruction, then the democracy of Britain said, let's put democracy on hold for a few years because now we have a total war. Okay, so we need to put democracy on pause, so to speak, and we will have a unity government, because this is the meaning of a unity government. Even in the Israeli history, we never had a unity government until 1967. When we faced the same situation, the whole states around us wanted to destroy Israel before the 6 Days War. That was the first time when Israel did the same thing and had a unity government. Today it's become something that you do on a normal basis, and the result of that is that there is no democracy.